Hey bike farmers, thanks for clicking in. Got ourselves a cyclocross bike here, and I've been known to say I've never met a cyclocross bike that I've liked working on. I'm really hoping this one will be different. It's got 2 loose hubs, flat tire, but that's okay. We're gonna change the tires anyway. It's got these shift cables that are coming out of the shifters this way. I always replace those. This is a customer's bike. We've talked through all this stuff. So new tubes with his tires and shift cables are all the parts that we're replacing so far. I really like cyclocross bikes. The general concept is that it's a road bike, so it's light, it's spry, but you put cantilever brakes on it so you can put wider tires, and then the geometry is a little bit tighter and for handling and doing all kinds of tricky stuff like off-road. But they make great commuter bikes, great racy commuter bikes, not like slow tooling around town, but like if you just want to ride fast and get somewhere in town, whatever. I think they're great bikes for that. They're kind of a do-it-all. They're gravel bikes before gravel, so they make a lot of sense. I just kind of have a chip on my shoulder about cyclocross racing and cyclocross in general. I just think it's silly. You put all the cables on the top because you have to like jump over logs and stuff, so you're carrying your bike upstairs, and it's all kinds of dumb stuff they do. I don't know why they do this with bikes. It's my favorite unpopular cycling opinion that I hold, because people that like cyclocross love cyclocross, and it drives them crazy to think that there's somebody out there that thinks it's the dumbest thing you could possibly ever do with a bicycle. I don't not like this bike. I mean, that's not what I'm saying, but I don't know. I mean, you've seen it happen before. I might not like this bike by the end of it. Hopefully this goes smoothly. It looks pretty clean. Looks like it'll be a straightforward tune-up with some hub stuff maybe. We don't know until we get into it. So you kick back and relax, and I'm gonna get started. Per the usual, let's remove these wheels, set them aside. I'm gonna have a seat here on Woody Charleston's lap. So we're going from 25s, I think. Oh, 28s to 32s. I think he's going to be kind of doing some commuting, maybe getting out on the gravel bike trail a little bit. It'll be a good bike for that. This one is hand-built, made in the USA, aluminum, Alpha super light aluminum. It's a really great Trek frame. I mean, absolutely no quibbles or qualms about it. Looks like he's had it on a trainer. This is really polished up. Now, if you do put your bike on a trainer for the winter, shift around a little bit here and there, and try to get a trainer tire. They're a lot quieter, more durable, and those rollers really just kind of tear through tires. It's not good. A couple of fresh tubes to go with these used tires. That's okay. It's got some tape that says put on front. I looked at them, I can't tell any difference between the two, except for the tape that's on there that says put on front. Maybe I should heed the warning. You know, just because I'm the presumed expert in this transactional relationship doesn't mean that my advice is always warranted. I have to keep that in mind. Problem is I don't know who believes that it is and who thinks that even though I'm the presumed expert in this transactional relationship, that the customer is always right, which would presume that they're the expert. Ain't that a catch-22? The ultimate catch-22 of specialty retail. I hear gun shops are the worst, and gun shop customers. Like, it goes both ways, right? Like, both the gun shop owners and the customers can be absolutely insufferable and impossible. Makes sense. Not because like gun owners are that way, it's just the nature of the product and, you know, how fanatical people can get. It's a lot like bikes. That's an improvement. It's a much better tire size. Subjectively. I would say objectively, if he's planning on riding it on crushed limestone, these tires are way better than the skinnier ones. In general, these tires kind of suck, but good enough for who they're for. Somebody told me that good enough for who it's for is insulting if I say it to one of my customers or about one of my customers. And I replied, that's what makes it funny. You know, because you're not supposed to insult your customers. Some people, they're just too earnest for the bike farmer, I tell you what. We're just having fun here, just trying to make light of the natural absurdity of the human condition as often as we possibly can, not take things too seriously. Except the algorithm. And for some reason, my subscriber count has crept to a halt, a screeching halt. I'm like, right now, I'm 5 subs short of 75,000. It's a big deal. And I haven't gotten a new sub in like over an hour, which is weird because typically I get 5 to 10 an hour. And I like to screenshot it at the milestones. I got all this going on. But it's bike season, and I've got paid tune-ups on the floor. I'm grateful for it. It's nice to get some cash flow again, especially since the subscriber count is dwindling. It's nice to have revenue coming from another spot. It's a topic for the other channel, I suppose, is multiple revenue streams in your life, you know? Don't just put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. Everybody tells me that with YouTube. I'm like, I don't think you understand. I have other stuff going on. Nobody understands me. Poor Andy Q. So, yeah. We got a loose hub. Okay, and it's not finger tight, or finger loose. So I'm gonna do a little cheater method here. I just kind of grab both outside. Now the real mechanics of the world are cringing right now that I'm doing this. But you can just kind of grab both lock nuts on either side and cinch things. Oh, that does feel a little loose. Okay, never mind. Sometimes you can get away with doing that. If things are tight, just crank everything together, a quarter, not even, an eighth of a turn, and it's enough to get that little wobble out. But why don't you guys take a look at what I'm doing? Why are you looking up at my head? Oh! It's a front hub, so 13 millimeter, but the lock nuts are still 17. So you put the 13 on the cone, 17 on the lock nut, tighten her down. It's got a little bit of a wobble, a little bit of a warble. Okay, I'm gonna tighten the hub a smidgen. Tighten that down. It feels slightly loose. I can see there's fresh grease in there, so whoever adjusted this hub before me didn't really tighten things very well. That's what we're after here. Oh yeah, there we go. So I just kind of get wrenches on both sides and turn the whole system in. Okay, that's smooth. Just the tiniest bit of play that is. Juicy, golden, crispy fried chicken. Hey, what do you think about fried chicken? Maybe that's a truthing stand topic. The truth about fried chicken. Afraid of the bird flu? Let me know in the comments. Man, can really get into the struggling with the dust caps. All right, so what is the best fried chicken? And first of all, let's hear it for this sea change in society where, you know, it's kind of gone, it seems like it's gone from burger joints to fried chicken joints. Fried chicken sandwiches in particular is what I'm talking about. Now, I know KFC has been around forever, and I gotta tell you, I haven't been to a KFC in forever, so, you know, I mean, it's not like I'm an expert here, but I'm a big fan of Popeyes. First time I went, this was 20 years ago or something, and just had the worst experience in the drive-thru. I mean, it was just awful, and then I got the food, and I'm like, what even is this? Like, I want to say it was like uncooked fast food chicken. Like, that is sketch. Like, I am not a bird flu guy or whatever. I don't really care a whole lot how cooked my chicken is. I do, I guess. But it was unacceptable, so I was just like, Popeye sucks. What were people thinking? Telling me it was good. But I just had a bad experience. That happens all the time, by the way. Just because you had one bad experience doesn't mean the place sucks. Get over yourself. Anyway, God, I'm a cranky SOB this morning. That's good. I hear in the comments a lot you like it when I'm cranky. So this one's for all you cranky lovers. I love Popeyes, but my son's been, you know, asking me to take him to Dave's Hot Chicken lately. That is so good. Their sauce is incredible. It's really good. And they have good fries, and the whole package is good. I like that. I'll do quick Chick-fil-A in a pinch. I think all the super Christianity aspect of it, closed on Sundays, blah, 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 is pretty weird in general. And like all the employees, it's just like, you know, they only hire Christians or something. It seems a little exclusionary to me. But you know, they're not bad. And the Chick-fil-A sauce is pretty good. It's basically just honey mustard though, isn't it? But I would not even rank it, you know, in top 5. I should go to a KFC. But I know people that won't go to Chick-fil-A just because of, like, you know, the churchy abortion stuff or whatever. I don't know, I'm not that into things, you know what I mean? Like, I've got my opinions. But I love fried chicken, so. And I think with the doomsday clock at like a minute 57 now, or minute 56 or whatever it is, like nothing really matters. Iron Maiden has a song, 2 Minutes to Midnight, that somehow relates to abortion. Not exactly sure. I've never like sat down and read the lyrics. I just know it's on Power Slave, which is probably the greatest hot lap album. The hot lap is I ride around Rock Lake. It's like 10-mile loop. And to see how fast I can do it, I try to do it in a half hour. I haven't done it in a half hour in years. I'm just not that fast, you know? That's 20 miles an hour average. But anyway, Power Slave is just perfect for that ride. And 2 Minutes to Midnight is on that. And I was always like, what is 2 minutes to midnight? And then I like looked it up and I was like, doomsday clock? What's the doomsday clock? And I was like, oh man. They had to take a minute off this year. Seemingly more unstable. I know. I'm just saying, I don't make the rules. I just see what I see, you know. Could be a giant conspiracy. Or could it be some merit to it? I don't know. Iron Maiden still rocks. I know that much. Still got bikes to ride. Fried chicken sandwiches. Don't lose sight of the important things in this world. Oh. Yeah, so here we are in the world of cyclocross with a road wheel, right? And, you know, somebody wanted it to be all fancy, so they used these black spokes, silver hub. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but it's just really loose. And it's going to be impossible to true this wheel. And I feel like I'm going to break spokes and blah, blah, blah. It just seems like cyclocross bikes always make it difficult. They're hard to work on. This one hasn't been overridden. Like a lot of them just get beat up. Like I was saying, they turn into commuter bikes, or if they have been raced cyclocross, it's You know, they race in terrible conditions. Oh, I tightened it too much. That doesn't even spin now. Well, let's get it true and then we'll do a little bit better job. Yeah, like that spoke, I just had to like twist it all the way around before it freed up. Oh, I just feel like one of them's gonna break. I hope not. It's a decent quality bike. The frame is great. We can take a closer look at it later if I remember. Remind me. Oh! It's really pretty true. Oh, oh. 2 minutes to midnight. Yeah, Iron Maiden with the 2 lead guitars that kind of interweave with one another, and you know, the kind of the dueling solos. There's just something about that, and the, you know, high cadence of fast road biking and the wind and the cornfields. It really does it for me. I could do that on this bike. But I won't. But Dan will. Maybe, hopefully. This is not how I prefer to do things. I prefer to do this with the wheel vertical on the ground. I should really use like a 9-speed chain for this or something. Maybe not. Okay, so that one wasn't so bad. The last one was really bad. I felt bad when I edited that video. I was like, oh my goodness, he really struggled. Oh, dropped a wheel. Good catch, Q. Yeah, see? You can take it all apart. Nothing's easy. Life is suffering. Okay, so we got to loosen this side out. Okay, and then without dropping ball bearings all over the place, try to get on this side and find a way to get a tool on things. Oh, I got one in there. And I'm just going to tighten this as hard as I can. There's nice fresh grease in there. Somebody's been poking around where they shouldn't have been, making my life a living hell. This is an exceptionally negative, grumpy bike video. That's what I get for talking trash about the greatest form of cycling ever devised by man. Okay, so we're close. I'm gonna give it one more crank here. Oh yeah, way tighter than it was. Too much. I don't know where my 15er is. So I gotta loosen the lock nut. And put the cone wrench on this side. Somehow managed to do that. And then back up that side. Okay, it's tight. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Man, there is not much wiggle room to get this just exactly perfect. feel like I'm gonna go past the tipping point again. Okay, I'm not gonna do any better than that. I did not discuss dork disc with this customer. I'm gonna assume no dork disc. I know. He seemed relatively high bike IQ, so, and the bike is in good shape, so I think he doesn't just throw it around and I think we'll be okay. All right, I'm just gonna double check it and stand quick. This bike is just dusty, it's not dirty. Little Behold furniture polish.
Hey bike farmers, just a quick note while there's a lull in the action. If you've made it this far, I assume you liked the video enough to click the like button. If you really like it, let us know in the comments below. And if you're into bicycle content for regular people, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're able to support more directly, click on the super thanks button and send me some taco money. Or better yet, join the channel as a monthly sustaining member. All of these things will help grow the channel organically and give the Bike Farmer YouTube channel a strong future. Thanks again for watching. Now let's get back to the bikes.
We're going to replace these cables. Yeah, the cable's stuck in the housing. What did I break? I don't know how this happened, but that's what I was wrestling with, I think. And then that is just stuck in there. So we're going to cut a new length of this. Take a little finish line one step and squirt it in these shifters just to kind of reanimate that old lubrication that's in there. It's like a cleaner and a degreaser. No, cleaner and a lubricant. It's basically just a fine lubricant. A little bit of Tri-Flow Superior lubricant. We don't want to use the inferior lubricant. All right, so doesn't want to come through the other end. Let's see if we can help it. Sometimes we just need a little bit of help. That looks pretty good. This looks a little rusty in there. Nothing too bad. It's plastic. Well, not inside, it's metal. Rust doesn't form on plastic. You learned it here first, bike farmers. That looks big. Too big. Too long. All right, try her again here. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can clean that out a little bit. That's way more better, hey. Oh yeah. 13.5 times better. Alright, the front shifty cable. I always like to drop some lube on the anchor bolts. That's pretty good. And since we have like new ferrules on a few pieces of housing here, we want to kind of stretch the cable. Forgot to do that before. Yeah, it's got quite a bit more flex. You'll watch me pull that through now. Probably should have waited to cut it and crimp it, but it's still good. It's fine. Let's make it a bicycle again, huh? Okay, so this rear hub is still tight. You can see the wheel's stopping itself. Now there might be something else going on. Maybe with the free hub. It feels a little worn out. These are just kind of cheapo Taiwanese hubs. But, and it was on a trainer. Trainers are very hard on bikes. Indoor trainers. Yeah, I mean it's way better than it was, but it's not fantastic. I think in order to be fantastic, we'd have to start replacing parts, and it's just not worth it with this setup. Yeah, so this is like all the sweat from being on the trainer. I could bring you guys in a little closer. I'm trying to make an adjustment here so I can pedal the bike without it shifting. So it's a very dull finish here. And I think it's just salty sweat goo. I have an old aluminum Trek road bike that I use on my trainer, and I just have it set up to fit me with some weird handlebars, but I would never use one of my regular bikes on a trainer. You know, go get a shitty old road bike on Marketplace for 200 bucks. Use that instead. Okay, we are definitely in the cyclocross zone now. Between that rear wheel and what I think I'm about to learn with this front derailleur. It's just all cyclocross bikes are like this. I don't know why. Probably just, you know, bad ideas abound. Now cyclocross started out as a really cool idea. It was, you know, it's like a steeplechase, I think, you know, where you see the steeple in the next town over and you say, hey, let's race. And people only had one kind of bike. This was like, you know, 120 years ago. And they only had one kind of bike and they had to make it work. And the fastest way to get to the next town was through the farmers' fields and along the irrigation ditches and through the woods. So they tried to make, you know, a really versatile bike, and they, you know, wider tires, and that's like kind of how it was born, which I think is great. But modern day cyclocross racing is basically taping off a course in a county park and riding laps over fake obstacles, which I think is overcomplicating things for no good reason. But people have fun doing it, you know, and so I'm an asshole for making fun of it. You know, like, why would that bother me? You know, don't like it, don't do it. This cable's tight. I don't think I've ever gotten cyclocross bike cantilever brakes to feel great. God, that was a really shitty sentence. These are the average shorty 4s. They're supposed to be excellent cyclocross brakes. I don't think I lubed that brake cable, did I? I'm gonna go do that right now. Trust me. Trust me, it's happening. I mean, these feel okay, but they're still really squishy. They just are always. I think it's just the road levers are not designed for this style of brake. Newer pads on here. Oh. Yeah, just feels a little squishy. And everything's lubricated and cleaned and adjusted properly, but I think it's just the nature, oh my God, just the nature of the stuff that's being used. It's as good as it's ever going to feel. So I'm not hearing any clicking or anything out of that free hub. I can kind of feel vibrations through the frame with that hub grinding. Somebody had already been in there. You know, there's something going on there and it's not easily fixable. I would say just, you know, cut your losses and get a new rear wheel. So I'll mention that to the customer. I mean, it's totally rideable. You know, there's rideable and there's right. And it's totally rideable. It's fine. They're not gonna know, but if they wanted it optimized and right, it's just replace this whole shebang. I guess we can move the chain while we're at it. You know, if you, maybe I can get some one step down in there and kind of wake things up a little bit. You can see hand built in the USA. I think this might have been welded in Waterloo, but I'm not sure. if they were doing this level of aluminum manufacturing here in Wisconsin. I'd like to think so. You know, they do have the Trek CX Cup. It's like a national cyclocross race every year. I hear it's a really fun time, but I've never gone. I don't want to enable such behavior. I'm a man of principles. I think that derailleur was just a smidge off. It can be really tricky to get these drivetrains to not rub. Again, it's a cyclocross thing. These are the sorts of issues I come across. Okay, so that looks a little straighter. Okay, so now we're in the little back here and big, and it's wubby-dubby, right? So we're gonna back the limit screw out. Okay, it's still a wubby-dubby. That might be a cable tension thing though. Okay, the cable's a little loose, but there's no barrel adjuster on this bike. Huh? Starting to see what's going on here? So we can't fine tune this. So we're either gonna get it or we're not. Or we add an inline barrel adjuster, which is a whole lot of messing around. Okay, so that chainring is bent right there. Yeah, I mean, what do you do? Replace chain rings too? Okay, this should be, yeah, all right. So we are not rubbing in the granny gear. We're able to access big and big. I'm not feeling a trim shift, so that's just gonna be rubbing. Yeah, so like there's just gonna be no way to get that to be quiet. It's so unsatisfying. You know, how do you explain that to a customer? Especially if they didn't notice that it was rubbing before. You know, I should have a trim shift in my shifter, like be able to press the lever halfway. And there's no trim shift. So then it's like, well, we can loosen that cable back up. It'll be rubbing in the high gear, but in the gears that he's riding in most of the time, it'll be fine. This is it, folks. I predicted it. Never met a cyclocross bike that was easy to work on. Looks good on paper. Oh, maybe there is a trim shift. Oh, I just found the trim shift. Okay. All right. It's coming around now. Might even be a triple. Oh. Okay, so there is a trim shift. It's really weird. This is a very strange drivetrain, but I think that's about as good as I can do. And they're just gonna have to learn how to use it. But man, that's confusing. I would hate to have to deal with that. But I can access all the gears and not have them rub. Yeah, you gotta be like, you gotta really understand how these systems work in order to get that functioning properly. Right, so that's not rubbing, and then that's rubbing a little bit, but you can shift down there and you're okay. And you're fine all the way up there. Back down, so here's your granny gear. You're rubbing, but if you go up there, yeah, there's just that one spot, like right in here, but you can get it to stop. All right, good enough for who it's for. It doesn't look too bad, but you know, people sweat when they have their bikes on their trainers. They sweat on the headsets. It doesn't feel awful. Sometimes you just can really feel it. But so we use gravity to get some lube down in that brake cable there. And then also just drop a little tri-flow in there to kind of wake things up a little bit. I don't know what the hell is going on there. I don't want to know. Ay, ay, ay. Cyclocross. I think I have a hate-hate relationship for it. I'm gonna start sending these projects to a real mechanic who just loves everything that has to do with bikes, has no opinions of their own. I mean, I feel like I have to take this headset apart. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's always something. And it shouldn't be. You know, there's nothing about, I mean, this is a hybrid with drop bars. So, you know, you kind of expect some weird shifting things, but not really, because it's road components. It's supposed to be fine. And, you know, the chain rings are a little different size. You know, there just isn't anything really mechanically inherently different to cause weird problems, you know, like headset problems. Like, you know, I don't know. Like, why is this headset so crooked and wonky? But it's literally every single dang cyclocross bike I work on has some really bizarre, impossible, you're just gonna have to live with it type of situation. And I have a feeling what we're about to figure out for this one right now. Oh, okay. You know, I didn't have headset overhaul on the repair slip, but it's good content, I suppose. Yeah, there's something really broken in there. Okay, so it's the plastic seal. That's my seal impression. This plastic seal, I think, was in there all crooked. And it's not a necessary component. Everything's greased pretty well. 2 minutes to midnight. Oh. Yeah, so this plastic wedgie goes in there like yow. good and greasy. Oh, should take that wheel off. There we go. I mean, I put it right back in there. I don't know if it'll just wedge in there and cause problems again, or maybe it's just how it is and it's totally okay because it felt okay. It just, I saw it. Okay, it's better. Front brake feels a lot better after doing the flip and lube. I learned that in college. Tri-delts taught me that move. It was a hazing ritual. Fixed. Got some, somebody called it 80 grit. You're right, 80 grit. Actually, they were yelling at me for using 80 grit on brake posts. Like, what's the big deal? Who cares? But I use it here on the rims. It's probably gonna howl, you know, because cyclocross. Aluminum frame, cantilever brakes, rigid fork. I mean, it looks like it's, is that an aluminum fork? Almost looks like an aluminum fork. That's sketchy as hell. Isn't it? Aren't aluminum forks sketchy? Am I making that up? Or just those early Viscount ones? Oh, it's gonna be like that, huh? Ah, these bikes. I think I got her. It's the final wipe down. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I don't know. I told you. I told you. I don't know if it was some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy or perhaps some sort of like karmic sequence loop that I suddenly found myself into. Trash talking all the cyclocross and whatever, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's just my attitude. I probably deserve it. Is that what you're saying? You're saying I deserve it. That I have a shit attitude about cyclocross bikes, and that's why they always fight back. But at the end of the day, it wasn't so bad, and I don't know. I think it was good content. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. If you think it was good, you can give it a thumbs up, like it. You can subscribe to the channel. If you got a little extra scratch in your pocket, click that Super Thanks button, and that's money that goes directly to me. You know, you can bypass all of the oligarchs, and I'll just give it right to the Mexican restaurant where I get tacos. You know, belly, digestion, energy, creativity, more good content. If you don't want to do that every time you watch a video, go get one of those apps that finds all the subscriptions that you have that you're not using and cancel them all. And take that $100 a month that you're spending that you don't know about and give it to me instead. I want all $100. Don't get cheap. This is not the time to cheap out on anything. You give the bike farmer your money. Ooh. I want you to mortgage your homes and then give me the cash. I don't want the deed to your home or anything ridiculous like that. It's too much headache. I just want the cash. So do that for me. But for yourself, don't forget to click the notification bell so you and your bikes can stay tuned.